Good day, everyone. This is your teacher Raf, and today I'm going to talk you through on how to determine the worth of ideas mentioned in the text listened to. So bring out your module in English 7, a piece of paper, and of course a pen. Here we go. Do you have a favorite song? There are two possible reasons why you like a song. It's either you love the rhythm or you are touched by the lyrics. If you find both reasons applicable, then you are a great listener. We hear sounds around us, and it is always our choice to pay attention or to just let them pass through our ears. We tend to ignore noises, yet we always lend our ears and find comfort in music. Our brain interprets the emotions we feel upon hearing the sounds. It even allows us to respond to what we hear depending on how we feel. But a different situation happens to a student like you inside the classroom, yet in this case, virtually. Either motivated or tired, students like you are always encouraged to listen attentively for you to learn. That is why it is important for you to develop good listening skills, for they play a vital role in the learning process. Let's try this activity. Listen as I ask you these questions. Write your answers on a sheet of paper. This is true or false. First question. Hearing is just as important as listening. The answer is true. Second question. Listening, on the other hand, is purposeful and focused rather than accidental. The answer is true. Third question. Hearing is an accidental and automatic brain response to sound that requires no effort. The answer is false. Fourth question. It involves hearing when you want to get valuable insights from your teacher or your church pastor. The answer is false. And fifth question, it is listening when you get familiar to the sounds of the train, lawn, buses, tractors, the pouring of rain, and so on. The answer is true. Now, did you get them all? Good job! Before we proceed to the lesson, let us review first your skill on employing strategy for effective interpersonal communication by carefully reading the comic strip I will be showing you, and answer the questions afterwards. Now I am giving you 2 to 3 minutes to go through the comic strip. Here are the questions. Number 1. Who could speaker A be? Is it letter A, the employer? Letter B, the applicant? Letter C, a boy? And letter D, a teacher? The answer is letter A. Who could speaker B be? A friend, B, an interview, C, a student, D, an applicant. And the answer is letter D. Third question. What position is being applied for? A. A storekeeper. B. A machine shop helper. C. An errand boy. And D. A gasoline boy. And the answer is letter D. Fourth question. Where could the interview have taken place? Is it A. in an office? B. in the school? C. on the street? D. in the machine shop? The answer is letter A. Number 5 question. Why did Speaker B leave his former job? A. The pay was low. B. He did not like his job. C. The time conflicted with his studies. D. The pay was low and the time conflicted with his studies. And the answer is letter D. Number 6 question. What made him apply for the present job? Is it A. He knew the job? B. It was well advertised? C. His friend could teach him? And letter D. He could work and study at the same time. The answer is letter D. 7th question. Do you think the boy could get the job? A. No. B. Yes. C. Not sure. And D. Undecided. And the answer is B. Yes. Are you familiar with the song True Colors by Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick? You can listen to the song first. If you know the lyrics of the song, you can sing along with it. I will be placing a link on the screen. Visit that link first and come back after listening to the song. See you in a bit. Well, I see you're back. Here are a couple of questions for you. Write your answer on your paper. First question. What do you understand about the song? And the second one, would you recommend the song to your friend? And why? Great! So, how was the song? Do you find it entertaining? If you enjoy the rhythm of the song, you are just hearing it. But if you also get its message, you have the potential of being a good listener. This time, we will learn the difference between listening and hearing, its importance, purpose, benefits, and some tips on how to become a good listener. So, let's hop into it. Hearing is an accidental and automatic brain response to sound that requires no effort. For example, we are familiar to the sounds of siren of the ambulance, the laughter of our friends, the rattling of pots and pans in our kitchen, and so on. We hear those accidental sounds and we train ourselves to ignore them unless we have a reason to do otherwise. We learn to filter out sounds that mean little to us, just like we choose to hear our ringing cell phones and other sounds that are more important to us. Listening, on the other hand, is purposeful and focused rather than accidental. As a result, it requires motivation and effort. It is active, focused, concentrated attention for the purpose of understanding the meanings expressed by the speaker. Again, here are the distinctions between hearing and listening. Hearing is just accidental, involuntary, and effortless, while listening it is more focused, voluntary, and intentional. There is no doubt that effective listening is an extremely important life skill. Listening serves a number of possible purposes, and the purpose of listening will depend on the situation and the nature of the communication. Here are some tips why listening is so important. Number one, to specifically focus on the messages being communicated, avoiding distractions and preconceptions. Number two, to gain a full and accurate understanding into the speaker's point of view and ideas. Number three, to critically assess what is being said. Number four, to observe the nonverbal signals accompanying what is being said to enhance understanding. Number five, to show interest, concern, and concentration. Number six, to encourage the speaker to communicate fully, openly, and honestly. Number seven, to develop a selflessness approach, putting the speaker first. And number eight, to arrive at a shared and agreed understanding and acceptance of both sides' views. As you listen, these tips will help you get the worthy ideas of the text you are listening to and help you understand it. Begin by listening carefully to the main idea so that you can identify the subject. Second, listen for keywords to help you remember details. You might want to take down important words. If you are listening to a narration or description, try to visualize the details. If you are listening to an exposition, try to understand the order behind the arrangement of the detailed sentences. One way to remember the important details in a text you are listening to is to pay attention to the discourse markers. Discourse markers are words or phrases whose function is to organize discourse or speech into segments. These are some discourse markers emphasizing important ideas. We have above all, significantly, in particular, indeed, especially, notably, or take note, importantly, always remember and bear in mind. If you hear these discourse markers, you have to take note the statements, for they may introduce worthy ideas of the text you are listening to. And third, think about what you are listening to. Sorting out or arranging the main ideas in your mind helps you identify the points to remember. First, try to jot down the main points. Then, go over the speech from beginning to end. And finally, recall the details. Now, let us try this activity. Listen attentively to this speech I will be delivering and fill in the missing discourse markers that emphasize the importance of the statement. Write your answer on your paper. Life is full of doubts, but always remember not to be afraid. Bear in mind to have faith in yourself, that whatever comes along your way, overcoming it is another step forward, another step towards the best version of yourself. At times, you feel weak and tired. Take rest. Take all the hours you need to heal. But when things get better, you have to get up and get back to the journey you have started. It is very important to be always optimistic. Take note, the one who can bring you to what's ahead of your journey today are your own feet. If you don't have the courage to take another step forward, you will never get there. Indeed, a wonderful journey begins with a single step. And always remember to keep that single step counting. It's not how fast you get there, it's how you keep stepping forward. How empowering that speech is, right? But did you get the discourse markers? If you did, very good. You listened very well. Speakers can create hundreds of ideas, but not all these ideas are worth to remember. Most of them give introductory statements that are not so important to the main topic. They are just flowery words that give life to their speech. To determine the value of an idea, we should look at how rare it is and how worth keeping it is. Now be guided by the following questions every time you look for the worthy ideas of the text you listen to. First, what is the topic of the listening text? Second, what is the important idea presented in the text? Third, how is the idea being presented? Is it explicitly or clearly stated, or implied, or just hidden? What helped you determine the worthy ideas presented? Is it by discourse markers that emphasize a point, or by the tone of speaker's voice? And is the idea presented worth keeping and worth sharing to others? Why do you find it so? Take note that a number of worthy ideas present within a text can be one or more depending on the speaker's message. Listening should not be taken for granted. Before the invention of writing, people conveyed virtually all knowledge through some combination of showing and telling. Here are some benefits that you can get from listening. First, you become a better student. By listening to the lessons attentively, you can arrive at a better answer. Second, you become a better friend. By lending them ears so you can give them pieces of advice. Third, people will find you as intelligent and perceptive. Fourth, good listening can also improve your public speaking abilities. Continue accomplishing the activities on your module and hope to read your works next week. Very well, you have arrived to the end of this lesson. If you have any questions or suggestions, comment them down below. And if you'd like to see more of this kind of content, let me know. Before I go, be reminded to stay safe, wear your face mask, wash your hands, and keep your distance. Once again, this is Teacher Raph telling you good luck and see you soon.